So I believe in God, even though I can't see him, because I can feel him, and I feel like I've always felt him. From a young age. So I was raised in church. My granddad was a pastor, my dad was a pastor. So I've been around it, I know it. But for myself, I could always feel it. And God would always kind of be vocal to me in dreams, sometimes visions. So I think that's why I believe, and I can see God throughout my life in many different ways. I pray a lot. I have to pray a lot. When it comes to fleshly things that are in my way and that are a hindrance and that are tripping me up, I put it to prayer. And if I do trip, one thing I don't do is condemn myself, because it just keeps you in a negative space for a long time. So I just rely and trust on prayer, and that God's hearing me and that he's with me through that process of getting over that thing. And then I think, I can kind of be on a better track. I don't think I stay consistent, to be honest. And it might sound terrible, but I think one thing that is consistent is that I don't stop speaking to God. So even in the times where I feel like I'm not doing the things that we're told we should be doing, which is like praying and reading our Bible at certain times of the day, that communication and that constant dialogue is always there. And I think that's why I could never really stray from God. I could stray from all the conventional things that I put in place, like, you must go to church this many times a week. I could probably stray from all those, what I would call religious things. But when it comes to actually having that connection, that's not ever gone away. It pulls you away from God. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah. So I know for me, I used to struggle a lot with feeling like I wasn't good enough in terms of my walk with God, and that I wasn't doing the right things. And I think when I really read my Bible more and realized what grace was, I realized that there's actually nothing that should be hindering you from God, because Jesus did all of that on the cross. So regardless of how you feel about yourself or where you're at, you have access to God all the time. And as long as you tap into that, you shouldn't feel like, he's inaccessible. You said 4. Second thing, community. I think community is a good thing. I have many friends from different walks of lives, and they're all doing different things. But we all, not all of us, but a lot of us have that common thing, which is we love God, we trust in God, and we can get together and pray if we need to. We can be on the phone and pray if we need to. That God saw fit enough. That God saw me in such a way, and that he loves me so much that he would sacrifice something that is so dear to him just so he can have a relationship with me. And that I'm not saved by anything that I do. I'm not saved by practices that you have to put in place. I'm saved by the blood of Jesus and grace. That's the myth. Try God for yourself. I always tell people that, and whenever I've told anyone that's not a believer, try God for yourself, go and search and read for yourself, they don't ever come back to me with, oh my God, he's not real. And this is just throughout my journey being a Christian and being saved. One of my best friends, I used to just talk to her about where I was, and the word says that you overcome by the word of your testimony. I think that's why this is important, because I can only share where I've been, what I've been through, and what's helped me. And I think another thing is, look at the lives of people around you that actually believe in God. Look at where they once were, look at where they are now, and you can't deny that there's not a force that's running through their life. So I think that's something I'd definitely say.